Hi everyone, my name is CHPID. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing CHPID. Before we talk about any command or configuration statement, imagine a very large machine that depends on a map before it can use its roads. The roads are the IO paths, and the map is called the IOCDS. This topic is about that map. We will understand what it is, what it contains, why it must be exact, and why one file can affect the entire system. Think of this as opening the control room wall map before sending traffic anywhere. Think of a city that already has roads, bridges, and traffic lights. Even if everything exists physically, a delivery company still needs a route plan to know where drivers can go. The same idea applies here. Cables, ports, storage, and devices may physically exist, but the Z system only understands the I/O world through the IOCDS. If the route is not described in the IOCDS, the system does not treat it as an available route. The IOCDS stands for Input-Output Configuration Dataset. The surprising part is that it is a plain text file, but it carries enormous responsibility. It describes the complete I/O universe for one Z system. It is not a database that discovers the environment by itself, and it is not a live scanner that checks every cable. It is a strict written description. When the system starts, it uses that description to understand which I/O paths, partitions, control units, devices, and functions are available. A useful way to remember the scope is to imagine several possible maps stored in a cabinet. At startup, one map is chosen and placed on the control room table. From that moment, that one map guides the entire system. The IOCDS is not written separately for one partition or one operating system. One active IOCDS describes the I/O world for the whole Z system. That is why even a small mistake deserves serious attention. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing CHPID grow naturally. The IOCDS does not describe just one kind of object. It connects many parts of the environment. It includes logical partitions, channel subsystems, logical channel paths, control units, devices, and PCIe functions. Think of it like a master blueprint for a large building. The blueprint does not only show rooms, it also shows hallways, electrical routing, doors, and service areas. The value comes from how all the pieces fit together. The IOCDS is built from statement types. The 5 major ones in this topic are resource, CHPID, CHPID unit, IOCDS, and function. Do not think of these as random technical labels. Think of them as layers in a city plan. First you define the citied areas, then the roads, then the connection points, then the exact addresses. That layered thinking makes the file easier to understand. The resource statement is a good place to begin because it defines the larger environment. Imagine an apartment building before any roads or utility connections are assigned to specific residents. First, you need to know the building structure and which apartments exist. In the same way, the resource statement helps describe channel subsystems and logical partitions. Before a partition can use paths and devices, the system must know that the logical space exists. The CHPID statement defines logical channel paths. A simple way to picture this is to think about highway names. A highway name tells you the route, but it is still an abstract label until it connects to real pavement, real exits, and real destinations. A CHPID is similar. It is part of the logical I/O route. Later, that logical route must connect to physical ports and external infrastructure. The CHPID unit statement introduces the control unit layer. Think of it as a bridge between the route and the destination area. If the CHPID is like a logical road, the control unit is like the managed entry point that lets that road reach a group of addresses. It helps connect channel paths to device ranges, so the system can understand how traffic reaches the storage side. Before we move ahead, please take a second to share on this video. Sharing helps this video reach friends who may also enjoy anime, gaming, travel, cricket, chess, career basics, or personal stories. Your support helps Amazing CHPID grow naturally. The IOCDS statement brings the journey down to the exact address level. Imagine a delivery driver reaching the correct building, but still needing the apartment number. The control unit may bring us to the right managed area, but the IOCDS statement tells the system which specific device addresses and device types exist. Without that exact address, the route is not complete. The function statement is used for PCIe-based function identifiers. For a beginner, the important thing is not to get lost in the hardware detail yet. Keep the same map idea in mind. Whether we are talking about traditional I/O paths or PCIe functions, the configuration file is still describing what the system is allowed to understand and use. IML is the startup moment when the selected IOCDS is loaded. Before that moment, the file is just a stored configuration. After that moment, the definitions become the active I/O view of the system. This is like opening the correct city map at the start of a day and telling every dispatcher to use that map. From that point forward, the routes on that map are the routes the system understands. The IOCDS is strict about formatting because it comes from a fixed column style of configuration. This means position matters. A comment marker belongs in the first column. Real statements begin after the first column. If a statement continues, the continuation rule matters. For a beginner, this can feel old-fashioned, but think of it like filling a government form where each box has a specific meaning. If you write in the wrong box, the information may not be accepted. The order of statements is not just a style preference. It is part of how the file makes sense. Imagine trying to assign apartment numbers before you have defined the building, or connecting a road before the city layout exists. The IOCDS follows a hierarchy. Resource comes before CHPID, CHPID comes before CNTL unit, and CNTL unit comes before IOCDS. Each layer depends on the layer above it. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing CHPID grow naturally. The IOCP program validates the IOCDS. If the syntax is wrong, IOCP can reject the file with an assembly error. That is actually helpful because it stops an invalid configuration before startup. But there is an important warning. Passing syntax validation does not automatically prove the map is correct. It only proves that the file follows the rules well enough to be accepted. This is one of the most important lessons in the topic. A file can be valid but still wrong. Imagine a GPS route that is written perfectly but takes you to the wrong building. The directions are formatted correctly, but the destination is not what you intended. In the same way, an IOCDS can pass basic syntax rules yet describe a path that does not match the intended physical setup. Good review asks whether the file matches reality and design, not only whether it assembles. Because one active IOCDS can affect the entire system, changes are treated carefully. This is not like changing a personal preference in one application. It is closer to changing the city traffic plan that many neighborhoods depend on. A small edit might affect one path, but that path may be shared or critical. That is why production environments rely on validation, review, testing, and change control before using a new IOCDS. The key message is simple. The IOCDS is the system map for I/O. It defines the complete I/O universe the Z system understands. It is plain text, but it follows strict formatting and ordering rules. Only one IOCDS is active for the system at startup, so its scope is large. The file can be syntactically valid and still need careful design review. Carry this picture forward. A powerful machine may have many roads, but it still depends on the right map. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing CHPID. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.